Good morning. Having technical difficulties on top of running late. That's what we're here for. I'm gonna give everybody a minute to join us. Yeah, okay. My camera is laggy this morning. Good morning, John. Let me reboot my camera because good morning, Deborah. Suki, Kate, good morning. This thing is lagging something fierce. Let me reboot it. 1 second. There we go. That's much better. Good morning, Laurel. Good morning, Lori. Sandy and Mandy. It's a busy Saturday. Is this because I'm running late? I absolutely was this morning. Casey came in, I don't know, sometime between 8 and 9 and was like, "Good morning, Janet." Um, he was like, "What time do you need to be up?" And I was like, "They can wait an extra 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes of sleep." Good morning, Christy. Thank you. It's snowing in Ohio. I'm gonna come for a visit. It's it's 50 already here. I'm just gonna take a quick picture. I don't need a picture of this. I don't know why. Angel is going away this year, at least for a bit, so I don't need a picture of her. So we're just gonna put her up. You can get a picture of the bag. It'll be here soon in northern Kentucky. Guess we're gonna get to stitching because I don't have much else going on right now. We're gonna start with Alice this morning. If I brought my tablet, hold on. Let me not get ahead of myself. Lake Effect Band in Syracuse. I did bring my tablet. Okay. So we're gonna get our 100 in on Alice today. Maybe even 200. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes us to get one. I will try and stream a little longer today. I'll try and make the whole 3 hours, as long as my stomach doesn't revolt. I wonder if I could. Well, let's just do it this way. Okay. Kind of over here, really far from. You know what? Let's change that up. That's why I live in Los Angeles, Laurel. I'm gonna switch this over here and see if it makes it a little easier for me. Not rubbing up against my thumb. Of course, I'm gonna hit it with my knee every chance I get. Y'all just watch. Just watch. Helps if you tighten the right thing. All right, we're gonna fix our bobbins here. Scissors. I think so. The guy at Dollar General yesterday, very chatty, and was talking about we're supposed to possibly get snow next week. Um, you know, the possibility is not super high, but it's there. And I think the lows are in the 20s. So we'll see. That would be my luck, right? Go back to work and it starts snowing. That's positive thinking there. I'm going back to work soon. And then these just come out that way. This one up here, so I can hold my threads up and out of the way. All right, and I'm good to go. Hopefully it looks okay for y'all. There we go. All right. Where's the tablet? So last night when I was working on this, I hit 44,000 stitches out of 77,500. It was just a nice, pretty round number. Um, so we got a long way to go this year, but we're going to get it done. The power of positive thinking. We are going to get it done. This needs to go down here. All right. Now I remember why I don't put this on my right side. We're going to have to adjust. Guys, that's where this hand goes. It's right where that's at. I might be able to work around it, but it's usually why I put this thing on the bottom when it's on that side. For those of you who use Lowry's, do you put the spinny thing at the top or the bottom? I usually put it on the bottom if it's on my this hand that goes underneath, and no, on the top when it's the hand that goes underneath, on the bottom when it's the hand that goes on top. So at least if I need to rest on it, I'm not constantly hitting this thing. So I'm actually going to flip that over real quick. Righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. There we go. See. See if we can get that to work. Bottom because it's on your left side. The fly that has decided to join me this morning. He has apparently had his coffee and he is raring to go for the day. Of course, we're starting out with a bunch of little ninja stitches. At least I get to park a few of them. Helps if you mark the chart correctly. All right. I hope we're all having a lovely Saturday morning. I don't have any plans today. Hopefully, maybe get quite a bit of stitching in. I always, especially at the beginning of the month, have that urge to hit all my goals for the month, and I have plenty of them. So like I'm really antsy to get started, especially since okay, today's the 4th, and I know it's only the 4th, okay? But I haven't actually started on any of my goals yet. Um, because the first I had a new start, and the second I had to work on my Monopoly roll. So it was a piece that's not in my goals. And then yesterday I basically only did my daily 100s because we were gone all day. So I haven't gotten to Whippagories, I haven't gotten to my focus pieces or my stitch along. Good morning, Candy. How are you this morning? I finally got through your whip parade last night. Like I started it the day before yesterday, but I finished it up last night. Oh yeah, good morning. Happy birthday, Candy. I forgot. Today is and she is in the house. Laurel, that is bad. Not the way to start the year. Pull out some stitching right now. Yes, happy birthday, Candy. I hope your plans for today are either something you want to do or involve lots of stitching. Do you have a new start planned for your birthday? Look, this one actually had a few stitches. What? It sounds like a great time to do a new start. And if you need more motivation, you can be like, I'm starting this because it's Candy's birthday. Doing well. I've spoken to my children. I've been stitching all morning, restarting Capricorn. Nice. She says, thank you for the birthday wishes. It's also apparently windy. My a welcome sign I have hanging on the door is knocking. S- The next block is a solid colored block. Or not solid, but there's only like 3 or 4 colors in it. So we're probably going to try and get 200 in on this one because I did miss a day of daily 100 this week. So we might try and get 200 in on Alice. I say that, but we'll see how fast this block goes. It's got some solid stitching in it. We're getting close to done with the ninja stitching, so could be pretty easy. Really, I'm thinking, so this is the bottom of the page. No, the next block is the bottom of the page, and then this is the next page. This is where the project ends, is right here. So I'm almost wondering if we shouldn't just work the 2 pages together before we go back up to the top. And that's the full height of the project. Anyone else doing a blessing sampler? I'm working on one, but it's slow going. I am not. I think I heard about this recently. I think we were talking about it on Zoom, that a blessing sampler is when you start and finish in January. Am I correct? If not, please feel free to tell the chat what a blessing sampler is. Laurel thought about it, but she's not. Kate is not. Don't think Kate does much in the way of samplers in general, though. Mandy says nope. Janet says yes. Yes, that's correct. I'm hoping to get it finished by the 31st. It'd have to be real small for me to do that because I like to work on all the things. Christy says no. Stitchin' Darlin says I am doing a blessing sampler. Janet enabled Candy. Stitchy friends are good for that. That enabling thing. Holly, I'm late again. Sorry, just woke up. It's fine. We've been here less than 30 minutes. I slept in on also. And then my hair was doing this crazy wackadoo thing where it was trying to stand straight up, so a shower was required before I got on stream today. Or y'all would have had a really good laugh at me and my chicken. Good morning, Enid. How are you this morning? Nope, not that late. And anytime you can sleep in, Holly, you know that's what I want for you. Which one? Are you stitching it in January to have good stitching luck all year? I don't know. My anxiety is off the chain trying to squash it. Well, hopefully we can help you out. And she was asking you, Stitching Darling, which blessing sampler are you doing? And are you stitching it in January to have good luck all year? Is that what a blessing sampler entails? I watched a psychologist on YouTube who has anxiety and depression, and he's helping me a lot from afar. Well, that's good. It's good to find help where you can. Yeah, I see sampler and my brain cell is like, whoa, well, hello there. Well, hello again, Mr. Fly. This is a really big shed. You could go hang out on the other side. We don't want you over here. So cut way back on caffeine, slept enough, don't get too hungry, do not look at the news. Yeah. Yeah, avoiding the news is a big thing. Especially, the couple months leading up to the election. Like, I'm not one that typically follows politics. I'm not one that typically watches the news for any reason. Um, but it was kind of like all over social media. And that's the things I do kind of watch. So I was absorbing more of it than I would have liked. And it was giving me major anxiety, major, like, end of world anxiety. Um, and I was like, this is not my jam. That's why I don't watch the news, because I will internalize everybody else's um, problems. Like, I seem to think all of a sudden everybody in the world's problems are my problems, and that is not good for me. Uh, Social media is nearly unbearable in election season. Yeah, yeah. It's hard to stay informed of the facts without getting all of the um, opinions, but also like dramatization, right? The let's take it three steps too far in any one direction. It doesn't matter who you like, who you don't, what you believe in. The dramatization is there. And for people with anxiety, it's just not a good. I would rather be uninformed than to have to live my life worrying about something that affects me but doesn't directly affect me, if that makes sense. I'm like that too, empathetic personality. Definitely. Definitely. I am stitching I am stitching a Stitcher's Alphabet by Scarlet House. There's a group of us in Alabama that are doing one, so I was enabled. Gotcha. I had to severely social media diet and still do. I have carefully filtered away anything triggering and stay off of screens more. That old dead guy said, ignorance is bliss. Yeah, it's my mantra. I mean, and I know there's some people that can't respect that, but they don't have to deal with my mental health on the day-to-day basis, so they can kiss my patootie. And it's funny because I have a husband who very much likes the news. He wants to stay informed on all the things. He loves politics. And so he's constantly asking me, "Have you seen this? Have you heard of this? Have you?" And I'm like, "No." I kind of stay away from it all. I'm getting a stitching chair at IKEA finally. Ooh. I so need to figure out a new chair situation. The saga of my stitching chair has spanned years. Oh goodness. Okay, I have all my parked threads in. Now we're going to start working the non-parked threads. It looks like we have about 5 colors. Two of those are ninja stitches. That's not okay. Oh, of course. Of course. The next color I need, I don't have any. Wait, 9:30. I mean, I have, I just don't have on my floss card. Gotta get up and get. Saw it, where'd it go? Oh. They have a Strandmon set that's on sale. I had my heart set on a floral pattern, but it's discontinued, so drab it is. They do have a really loud cover set for it. Why I did that. I don't stitch with strands that long when I'm doing one strand. One strand. Where's my scissors? I think the closest IKEA to me is in San Antonio, so that's about a 4-hour drive. Black with bright kind of flowers and leaves on it. I bet that'd look nice. Oh, goodness. We're still waking up this morning. You know what? I think the rule should be every time we have a yawn, we have some hydration. I'm totally blaming you on the rabbit hole of planner sheets I'm in. I apologize greatly because I know how it is when you're trying to get it all. Yeah. But also, cool. I think I would get that cover set because go loud or go home, right? I mean, go loud in your home, right? Um, yeah, when I bought the original set of planner sheets, there are so many options in it, so many more than what I even put in my planner. And I had to sit down and make a night like a let's be realistic here. What am I actually going to use and what am I not? And what I tried at the beginning of Flossmas was just on my iPad before I got my planner set up, working on them each day and seeing which ones I wanted to use and what I didn't. And I really don't like planning on my iPad. I like the idea of it. I don't like the actual implementation. Um, so I fizzled out after like 4 days. And that was simply because it was digital. It like I don't normally peter out on a planner that fast. All the silk thread stitches up so dainty or something I can't articulate. It's gorgeous. I get what you're saying though. It's just very, very nice. Which silk is it, Enid? One down, 4 to go. Here's the big one. Don't know that I have with me. Seriously. How did I manage that one? Veriswa, I think. The spools. Okay. Hey, when you're working on your full coverages, how many boxes of 100 do you go over before you move down? Usually the page. So, well, I do it in diagonals, right? So when I start, you've got like block 1 and then block 2, and then I go down block 3, and then I come back up and I go across the diagonals this way. Now where I stopped was at the end of the page. So this is a full Haid page. I hope that helps. What's your group's name again? I have the derp. I want to throw a pic in there. My Tiny Hummingbird Stitchery? Or Virtual Stitchers. Virtual Stitchers. I do my Monopoly roll today, but I want to work on Coastal Summer more to get your steps. Yeah, so go over 2, then down 1, then you go to the third and that sort of thing. Need a physical planner? Do you need a pre-made one, Mandy, or do you just need to print out all those pages and stick it in something? Because I got the binder one that Lexi got me. It literally is just the cover, right? And the rings. This one's about $7.99 on Amazon. And then the paper, like you can cut and hole punch your own paper, but but we bought a pack of like 250 for like, let's say $10. So, um, I also did end up getting the hole punch in case I want to put anything in there that's not just printable. Um, I was watching, I've been in a planner video, planet you YouTube planner video rabbit hole the last couple weeks until I was able to set mine up. It was like my way of coping with not being able to set it up when I wanted to. And what was I saying? Anyway, she will like find random things and just hole punch them and put them in her planner so that she's like, I'll have this to remember when I need it. Or like she'll print off photos, um, like of her family or whatever, laminate them and hole punch them and put them in there. I thought that was pretty neat. There's so many ideas. So many ideas. I do really enjoy a good happy planner. They come in several different sizes and they're adjustable because you can pop the pages off the rings and then move them around and put them wherever. Um, so they're really nice starter planner. I did a plum paper a couple years ago. You can customize it and order it. It's a little more on the pricey side and it takes a little bit to get to you because they custom build it. So I have a big happy planner so I don't have to cut pages. That makes sense. I think my friend Vicky did hers the same way, so she doesn't have to cut them down. I Enid says, I love my Stitcher's Cabin Stitcher's Almanac. Yeah, they sell those on Amazon. It's kind of a good place to start. Do you have a special hole punch for the A5 planner? I do. I do. It's small like this, and you can see where it has 3 and then a space and then 3 because that's how my planner is set up. Now this will work for other things because these move. Oh, these can move, but for mine it goes to the furthest one. The full-size planners like the Plum Planner and the um, full-size Happy Planner, the only thing about that for me is I'll get a little paper Happy and have a bunch of stuff in there, half of which I probably don't use, and it will get bulky and heavy, and then I tend to lug it around without actually like taking it out and doing anything with it. I used to have a Happy Planner I enjoyed. Yeah. Reused the Happy Planner for a few years, just making my own pages to fit my needs. Yeah, that's what's really nice about it, is it does have that versatility. Just filling in some black. Hmm. Please ignore that comment on screen. It did get moderated by my moderator, but it's still on screen. Oops, I just minimized my screen. I can't see nothing. Okay. Gotta love a good bot. Also blocked anything that says cheap viewers so that we don't have that problem again. That's funny. This strand is way too long to be working with, but there we go. I still have 2,600 stitches in black on this thing, so I probably need to add some black back to my floss card. I'm still taking beginning of the year pictures. I have a small pile over there, like maybe 8 more projects to do. Good. Getting everything organized, keeping stuff on, like my temperature, the 5 temperature projects will probably stay in a bag all themselves so that, because I'm always going to need them with me. I never know which one's going to come up with. Like today, it says the high is 73. So my 2-3 project will come out. I haven't stitched on it yet, so I'm not even sure off the top of my head what it is. So far we've seen my 0-1 project and my 8-9 project. 8-9? Yeah, 58 and 68, I think, were the 2 temperatures. So I'll probably have those 5 in a bag that goes with me to work and into the house where I can, pull it out and work on it. And then I like to make a bag with some of my focus stuff. And so until it gets done, it kind of stays near me. And then everything else goes up on the shelf until we get past all of that. Good morning, Shannon. Just checking in for a minute before I have to run. Busy day. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. That's something else I need to do, assign numbers to my temperature stitching and get started on that. So, what are you doing right now, Laurel? Queen procrastinator over there. I need to. Of course, that's what I'm doing right now too, huh? I need to. Oh, we yawned. Hydrate. Everybody take a drink. Before you run off, Shannon, if you want to go ahead and give us a guess, um, I'll get you put down on the list to possibly win another raffle ticket. I know I should get at least 200 stitches in, if that helps with your numbers. We've been streaming for about an hour, not quite. And so we got about 2 hours left. You're watching me stitch. You can stitch while you watch me. You can also write down your temperature stuff while you watch. Multitasking. You know what you can't do is stitch and do other things. I cannot stitch and wash the dishes. I cannot stitch and fold the laundry. If I could, oh my goodness, how wonderful would that be? Okay, 253. I got you down. I have a couple temperature freebies I'm pondering. So like the where it's colored by the temperature, Enid. I did that once. I did temperature butterflies a couple years ago. And I was like, that was fun, but I'm done with that. This is more letting the temperature choose what you're working on for the day, which for me, it only chooses my daily 100. That reminds me, I forgot to go post my daily 100 yesterday. Um, oh, there's Enid's post. So here's the silk thread that Enid is working on right now. It is very pretty. Looks good. I caved on no by 25. I was missing a few DMCs and had to buy them. I feel like DMC shouldn't be in no buy because like you're gonna have to replace it. It's the one, oh, consumable, right? I second the stitch and other thing emotion. Life would be less stressful. Yeah. I want to stitch up another in the beach holiday series from that UK site. I stitched up one already and I keep staring at it. Okay, what was I doing? I picked it. Oh, I needed to post something. Notion. It's not to sock yarn doesn't count as stash. Ah. I mean, maybe, but if you've used up the sock yarn, then you have to buy more, right? I don't know. If you're buying DMC just to put it on the DMC wall, um, then that's one thing. But if you need it to get the project going, makes sense that you get it. At least to me. You love the linen too, Fox and Rabbit. I haven't actually stitched on any of their stuff yet. I have one piece, I think. I haven't stitched yet. I got a tickle in my face. What am I looking for? Post. Of course, I'm going to get it all pulled up, and that's not even. Don't need to be on my phone. Two skeins each of 38.65, 38.46, 33.33, 30.33. No, 3.33. Whoa, 3.40. I'm excited for my fabric of the month. Me too. I wish they would call me already. They're probably just getting started on it. I don't know, but um, yeah. So he told me that he will dye it, and once he's got it packaged, ready to ship, that's when he'll bill me. I'll pay it once it gets in my hands and I bill y'all. It'll be fun. Me neither, and I don't have a monthly subscription to Sock Yarn Stash either. No yarn subscriptions. I don't play with yarn, so I wouldn't have a subscription there either. I don't have any current subscriptions, I don't think. I do Fight Night for my fabric of the month. Like me on camera, like me go. Trying to find a photo. Oh, there it is. That's not the right one. No, this is getting stitching done too, isn't it? I'm so sorry. How does the billing work when you get it? How do I pay you? Um, John, I will message you on Instagram. I need to get an email address for you, and then I put the email address into PayPal, and it sends you an invoice to your mail, to your email. And then you don't have to have PayPal to pay it. You can just pay it with a card or whatever from the invoice. And then you'll continue to get those each month. I don't bill until I have the product in my hand, just in case anything is to happen in the mail or happen with, um, the person I bought it from, whatever. I don't want to have to worry about refunds and things like that. I want to make sure I have your product. So once I have it in my hand, I will send those invoices out. And then when you pay it, I will ship it. I understand that, like, I could get it on like the 21st of the month and you don't get paid until the first. Just let me know. I'm very understanding of, when paychecks happen. So I said no to World of Cross Stitching subscription, which is pretty crazy for me. Only subscription I have now is just cross stitch. Nice. Okay. Got my daily 100 stitching put up. Since we got to talk about temperature stitching, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to post that before I went to bed last night. I've been considering a fabric of the month and a floss of the month, but I think I should wait until after layoff. I can understand that. I'm hoping my layoff ends this coming up week. And then I can consider changing situations. I'll probably wait still a little bit because play a little catch up from the holidays and stuff. Okay, folks, have a great day. Off to get stuff done. Have a wonderful day, Shannon. How do you create the graphic for Whippagories? Canva. I use PicMonkey. I have not played with Canva yet, and I know a lot of people do, so I really need to go and take a look at it. But I go to picmonkey.com, or I have a PicMonkey app on my phone. And actually, it's better to use on your phone because you can save it. Whereas if you go to the website, it doesn't let you save unless like pay a monthly fee or whatever. So in that case, I'll use, there's this thing on your PC called a snipping tool. It comes default, and I'll just open it, and it basically takes like a screenshot, but of whatever area that I want to screenshot. So I can just highlight the picture that I've put together in PicMonkey. Look, it's overly complicated, but got a pattern from Long Dog, and my bank flagged it as possible fraud. Oh, they don't know you by now that, like, that's definitely a Holly purchase. Sandy, that is the truth. I have so much cleaning to do. Washer hasn't been working the last couple days. Oh dear. But I think it might be working today and I can get some laundry done. For now, I'll stitch. There you go. Um, that reminds me, I actually need to clean out the drain in my washing machine because when we ran it yesterday, it smelled foul, which means that filter's clogged up. It was like $30. Our washer seems to have a belt problem, which stinks. Ooh, I bet. I bet that does stink. You clean the washer multiple times. Actually, that's a thought. Let me text Lexi real quick. She might be awake. Some of those Tide washing machine cleaning packets or something. Yeah. Um, if you don't have those, the other thing you can use is like the dishwashing tabs. You know, the little pouches that you just throw in a dishwasher. That's what I did for my mother-in-law's machine. She had puppies. She had a whole litter of puppies. And so, they were using, like, they had blankets that had mess on them. And so after washing a bunch of them, the washing machine was kind of nasty. So I threw some of the dishwasher tabs in there and just let it do a cycle, and it helps a lot. It does bubble a lot though. So like I called my mother-in-law and I was like, "Don't freak out, but when you get home, your washing machine is going to look very like soapy bubbles." Thought Saga, which you're starting tomorrow. That's the one where you can pick the different parts. No, I'm thinking of something else. So I will have Lexi. I don't know if I have any dishwasher pods anymore since I don't own a dishwasher. But have her at least turn the cleaning cycle on, and then I'll clean that filter after the cleaning cycle runs. I have many long dog samplers and a couple of whips. I have one. I'm being good with one. No, Saga is the super big that kind of goes with Quinto. Okay, that's what I was thinking. The animal scenes. But like, doesn't it come with different ones so you can kind of pick and choose? Maybe Quinto Acuto is what I'm thinking of. I know I was thinking it was Saga. Um, I bought one of them. Hold on. Oh, goodness. Our old dishwasher died. I have a deal with my husband that we can't be without a dishwasher for more than a week or two. It's just a set pattern. Okay. Got an air fryer. It's incredible. I love my air fryer. There was the Harry Potter saga. Dilemma. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Dilemma. Yeah. I was literally about to see if I've got my long dogs right here. Hold on. Yeah. Dilemma. Here's what I was talking about. Because it's got the animals. That's why I was like confused. Yeah. So it gives you a 9 by 9 grid, but then it gives you 16 choices to put in the 9 by 9. So, do long dogs work with Pattern Keeper? Yes and no. Yes, if you buy the digital pattern, you can put it in Pattern Keeper, but you have to be careful because sometimes the overlap isn't registered correctly. You have to be careful. So, back stitching I've heard does yeah, and the back stitching doesn't show up in Pattern Keeper. So if the long dog has back stitching in it, you'll then need to reference in a different program. But the stitches itself do work in Pattern Keeper. So, 317. I'm getting distracted. And I know there's a new update coming out for Pattern Keeper that's a little glitchy. So if you don't have to update yet, I would hold off. But I don't know what the updates entail. I need to up my whip count. I've been thinking about possibly doing a long dog. I guess not. I want to up my whip count. I understand. I understand that. I um I found when I upped my whip count that I stitched more. So before I was when I was first getting into stitching and I was monogamous, I would go long periods of time without stitching at all. So if I can switch things up a lot, I tend to stitch better. Back stitch shows up in markup RXP, but marking off back stitch is kind of hinky. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Laura downloaded PicMonkey app, but it requires payment after the free trial. I don't pay for PicMonkey, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Out of zip bags to contain projects. Oh no. Nothing wrong with that. I've had one of those before. As of yet, only been a monogamous stitcher. I understand that. I noticed on my last project I was getting a little bored. The only thing that kept me going was my deadline. The new update is experimental right now, so by the time it rolls out, the glitch may be fixed. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what the glitch was. I just saw that she said something about it and that there was an update. Oop, yawned. Time for a sip. I was able to move off the screen to make a design. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think it tries to get you to do the trial, but I don't think you have to because I don't pay for anything. But I do think it'll pop up every time trying to convince you need it. Now, there's some things like certain fonts and stuff you won't be able to use without buying the free trial, but I just don't use those, just use what's available to me. Okay, we're on our 2 ninja stitches here. One more ninja stitch. And then I think we're going to move down to this next block and go ahead and get 200 in today. Got your package in the mail yesterday? Awesome, Sandy. I had another set come in like the day after I sent those. I haven't sat down to invoice for them and stuff yet, but um, I was like, seriously, if I had waited one more day, I could have just sent this in that package. So I'm gonna kind of redo the bobbin. Right. I'm also going to trim this up. Thanks, sweetheart. Oh, thank you. Did you see what she wrote on there? No. She's a dork. Uh, thank you. Delivery. You're the best. You're the best. I was almost out of water.
Yeah, Lexi just texted me like 10 minutes ago, but I left the phone in the car. Are you going to the store also? And I saw it when I pulled up.
Oh no. Speaking of mail and packages, I just got mine from Stitch and Button. Does everybody want to see? I wonder if my other screen will work. Oh, I can do this. Is sharing? Nope, doesn't want to work. Okay, we'll just do it here. This is the stuff I ordered on her live sale because she totally forgot that I had other stuff sitting at her house. But anyway, I got this. Where's my camera? This bag. Isn't it gorgeous? It's so pretty. So, and the inside is black. And it has this little zipper pull. She always does pretty beaded zipper. Ooh, that one's really pretty. I like it. So, that's my Stitch and Button bag. And then, let's see. What else do we have in here? We have an empty bag. What else is in here? Ooh, my scissor fob. It's a heart and red and black. Very pretty. Look, I have some scissors here that don't have a scissor fob on them, surprisingly. So, now it does. Isn't that pretty? I know they don't match, but that's okay. All right. What else? I got a bobbin that says, "Feed me tacos and tell me I'm pretty." I also have a shirt that says this. So, looky there. There we go. What else? What else is in here? Oh, she was destashing a few things. And so I bought Lizzie Kate's 2011 ornaments. I have a lot of Lizzie Kate's. I surprisingly did not have this one. So 2011 ornaments. I think the other one's a Lizzie Kate too. Got Fall Crazy, which is also some little small ones. Yeah, a bunch of little small things. Winter Crazy. Those two. I think those are supposed to be in the bags, and she sent the bags along, but didn't have them in there. And I dropped one of the things. Well, she didn't send these. The dragon. Another bobbin. So, yay! Fun. Always love Happy Mail. Andy brought me a drink because he's the best. Now, right after her live sale, when I was doing my whip parade, um, or right after I did my whip parade, I was working on cleaning up from my whip parade, and I went and grabbed my pile of bags. Oh, geez, what do we got going on here? Wonder how that happened. Anyway, I grabbed my pile of stitch and button bags that I don't currently have a project in, and it's like bad. It's bad. Um, and so I don't know it. Well, it's like, and I just bought another one. Um, so I don't know if I quit shopping or start more projects or like what's the remedy here? Just let it be what it is. My husband was excited to go to the post office because his passport came in today. So we are all set and ready to leave the country in March. Just for a few days. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think we could all use a vacation. This block down here is all black except for the very center square is a different color. And I think, oh, 823. Yep. It's funny. Okay, this thing needs to be clipped. It is just getting in my way. Gimme, 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 gimme. Start more. I will tell you, like, I'm so feeling that start itch. I don't know. Like, I've been working years at trying to get my whip list down to 30, so I'm like, I can stitch on everything in a month. And now that I'm there, I'm like, I want to start everything. You made a graphic. Yay, Laurel. Good job. Good job. Um, like for my tissue box, I think I have, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wait, 7. There's 7 things over there. And I still have 10 more days to come up with something else to add to that pile. Now, can I start all 7 in a day? It's really going to depend. I don't know what the 14th has in store, so we'll just have to see. Maybe I don't get to all of them and that would be okay. But man, I want to get to all of them. There you go. And you did your temperature. Look at you go. Can I show it, Laurel? Can I show your graphic? You did a really good job. Can you explain tissue box? Okay, let me show this real quick and then I will. So here's the graphic Laurel made. It is her temperature stitching. So if the temperature ends in O, she's going to work on Tetelestai. O is 0. If it ends in 1 to 2, she's going to work on Savannah. 3 and 4, Retrievers. 5, Travel Memories. 6, Poppy. 7, Silver Moon Tea. 8, Bells of Ireland. And 9, Tallman House. So, way to go, Laurel. That's knocking out 2 things. You both made a graphic, which is something new you learned, and you got your temperature stitching. Now, Figure out what the temperature was the last few days so you know what to stitch on today, other than your new start. Okay, so tissue box. I have I've done this a couple different ways, but let's say you have a mini series, or not mini, but like a series, right? I do smalls. Okay, let me start all over because I'm getting beside myself. Tissue box, the idea of tissue box is that you start something and then when you finish it, you start the next something in the series or by the same designer. Um, you don't always have to finish one. Well, so last year I did leap day. So I picked a day of the month that I started several projects. And then every month on that day, if I had finished a project in the series, I would start the next one, but only on that day. Some people don't have to finish necessarily before they start the next one. But so the idea is that, like, if you have, I have the Year of Celebration series, right? And I have 6 of them left. So I start one in January, I could start one in February, March, April. Um, like a tissue box. You finish one, you pull out the next one, like that. Does that make sense? I feel like I don't explain things well. So what I have is I have some Satsuma Street. Let me see. Where's that one? I have some of these Satsuma Street kits. I did Mill Hills last year. This year I'm doing these Satsuma Street kits. And so I'm going to start, let's say this one, January 14th. When I finish it, then I'll start this one. Always on the 14th of the month. Okay. And so this is all same designer, right? These aren't necessarily a series, although they kind of are. They're just not named that way. Um, the Year of Celebrations is an actual series. I have, these are, what is this one? Oh no, that's a different start. I've got the Year of Celebrations. I've got the Quirky Quakers. And they're only 500 stitches, so doing one a month is pretty easy. I have the Britter Cup series, or the Britter Kitty series. So I did these a few years ago, then fell off of them, and I'm gonna try and bring them back. So this was November's. See, they're pretty small, and so I'm gonna work on those again this year. I kitted up for January and February. I have, this was all supposed to be in my plans video. That's why they're sitting over here, and I didn't do it. Oh, the Plum Street Stacks. Now, this one's a little bit bigger. So this is one where typically I would probably just start one a month. But again, I would like to finish one before I start one. So I may only get to like 2 of these this year, if we're being honest. They're kind of delusional when it comes to counting. And then I have my With Thy Needle and Thread, the word plays. I have a couple others that I need to pull out that aren't sitting over here. So, and these usually take me a few months. And then they just go into my rotation. And once they get finished, then the 14th of that month, I go, oh, well, I finished this last month. I can have a new start today. So for January 1st through 4th, I have 1 and 3 twos. So it's all Savannah. That's funny. Well, 400 stitches on Savannah. Last year I did tissue box, but I called it Leap Day Starts. So last year on February 29th, because it doesn't always exist, I started 4 projects. And then on the 29th of each month, if I had finished the project from the previous month, I would let myself start another one. I completed, hold on, because I had these numbers off the top of my head and now I don't. I'm afraid I'm going to get them wrong. Let's see. Let me go to my 2024 snapshot and go to, yeah. Okay, so I completed, where's, can I move this? Yeah. Okay. So I started a mill hill on the 29th, and I would not start another one until I finished the last one. So I finished one, two, three, four mill hills last year using this method. I finished one, two, three with eye needle and thread. The word plays. Let's see what else. Darling and Whimsy. I finished one, two, three, four Darling and Whimsies, and the last one was hands-on design. One. There should be more than one. Hold on. Two, three, four. I finished five Darling and Whimsies and four hands-on design. So it was a good way to make progress through some of those things that you have a lot of. She got really neglected last year, so she needs the stitches. No, I worked on them at any point during the month. Like if I drew them, if I could fit them into a whipagori, like however. But I wouldn't start the next one until the 29th. So like if I finished the Quirky Quaker on the 3rd, I would wait until the 29th to start the next one. And so since we don't have a February 29th this year, I changed it to January 14th. What? I have so many mill hills and heart and hands I could use this for. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I have so many, period. Because even Laurel and I were sitting on Zoom the other day, and Lizzie Kate was another one. I don't have any kitted up presently, but if I could kit, like, let's say this up before the 14th, then it's another one that I could start on the 14th, and then, once I finish it, I can do this one and then this one. So Lizzie Kate's another one. I have those little Stitch Girl patterns, the plaids. They're like this big. What else? But I don't have it kitted up yet either. That's why those were all on my what should we kit up last Thursday. Oh, and we did the Primrose Minis, so those are ready for tissue box. Um so let's see. We've got one more Thursday before the 14th. Look at a calendar. Yeah. So I could add one more to the list before then. Now, the rule is I have to get them all started on January 14th in order for them to be in the tissue box. So if I don't get to all, what, 7 or 8 that I have planned, then I'll just have to wait till next year. So that's another way that I help keep myself from going overboard. I'm going to do the Lizzie Kate green flippets. There you go. Did you find fabric? If your answer is no, then you can just go and look while we're talking. Maybe I'll throw in another Lizzie Kate or two. Well, and that's just it. If you get started, like I said, I can get started on this. Let's say I get this one kitted up before the 14th. I can start this one on tissue box, and we kit things on Thursdays. So I have 4 more Thursdays before even the possibility of another one comes up. So then you can add to the list whenever. You don't have to have the list, like the whole list, before you ever get started. It's like I only kitted up 2 of the Britter kitties. So I'll just make sure that they're on the list of things to kit up before I run out of them. That stitch just totally slipped in there. I'm doing Tiny Modernist and Barbara Anna because go big or go home. See, and that's what works for Holly. If, you have multiple Tiny Modernists that you want to get started this year, that that could work for you. I have loved something up. Stitching and talking. I do great at it. One. This wasn't supposed to be here. I did the whole row, didn't I? Yep. I just love frogging 1/1 on 28 count. Said nobody ever. And I know I have a couple people like, so my thought was to go by designer. I didn't want to say series specifically because like when I was doing the Mill Hill isn't necessarily like the ones I was doing weren't necessarily in a series, but they were all by Mill Hill. So I went with designer. But then I was talking to some friends and one of them is doing, that's where I messed up. Okay. One of them is doing a coffee year. So she's going to have a bunch of starts from different designers, but they're all going to have a coffee theme. That's really cute. Magazine themed, like just a bunch of magazine um, patterns. So there are different ways you can do it. I'm doing it by designer, but okay, so you're going to start all the ones for the year? No, I just start one per designer. So one Lizzie Kate, one Primrose, one hands-on design, etc., etc. And then on the 14th of February, I can start one by each of those. And then, so like I had my friend Kate last year had planned out 12 owl forests that she wanted to start. And so then she started one of them on the 29th. And so the 29th of every month, she's like, oh, I could start an owl forest today. Did she every month? No, but that's okay. But she had that option. Our friend Janet Jabber is really good at that too. She tends to tissue box things. Now she's of the finishing mindset, right? So she'll finish one in a series before she starts the next one. It's that same thing. The caveat to mine is the whole date thing. It has to be on a specific date. And part of the reason for that, personally for me, is because like the quirky Quakers, 2 days of stitching and they're done. Sometimes even one, depends on how much stitching I put into it, right? So then if I didn't have to wait until the next date to start one, I could start one immediately. Well, then I'm finishing a bunch of quirky Quakers and never getting around to the other things that, see what I'm saying? It kind of makes you spread it out a little bit. I'm not going to park this one because it's going to be teeny tiny by the time I'm done putting the stitch in. Oh, see, it even came unthreaded. Are you stitching 100 a day on each? Um, no. So last year, those were the ones I was using for my daily 100 at work. So I would start with, let's say, the Quirky Quaker, and it would be my daily 100 until it was finished. And then I'd pull out the next one. Those were how I was getting through those like I was. This year, they're going to swap into my temperature stitching once the ones I currently have in temperature stitching hit their mark. Um, so 5 of these new starts will then become my temperature stitching. So I'll do a daily 100, but it'll rotate between each of the 5. Does that make sense? Sometimes I feel like I put too many words in my explanations. Don't do that. All right, we only have one color left. Can y'all guess what it is? What is that? I'm gonna cut this in half. I don't want to use this big long. So right now, I have a parked thread right there. What am I doing? So right now, Alice is my daily 100, period. Um, I don't know how that's going to work once I go back to work. So she may only be my daily 100 at home. And then I have to play a little bit of catch up at the end of the week to get my 700 stitches a week because that's her. I need 700 stitches a week on her to finish her this year. Then I'll do a daily 100 and that's my temperature stitching. So whichever project is based on the weather. And then my whatever for the rest of the day stitching. So typically I will have 3 projects I pull out in a day. I know that's very overwhelming for some people, but it keeps me like I need it. I enjoy it so much. I'm doing daily stitching on one whip for the whole year. It will be interesting to see the progress at year end. Yeah, absolutely. And I think so several years ago, my friend Cheryl um, started uh, Daily 30. And so she would put 30 minutes of stitching into a project every day. And that was kind of the premise was you use the same project so that you saw the progress. And I did that for a while, except I do daily 100 because I'm in all these stitchy groups and most things take at least 100 stitches. In 30 minutes, I may only get 50 stitches. I may get 100 stitches. It really depended on the project. So I needed it to be a little more regulated. But yeah, I started out where I would stitch on one project until I finished it. Uh, and then in this last year, that kind of all went wonky. But it's okay because this works for me too because I'm still getting finishes. They're just taking different amount of time than they were before. So how crazy would it be if we only get these 200 stitches today? Everybody gets a raffle ticket. All I have left is the black, and then we can switch projects and see what our daily stitching is for today. Because I saw that the high today is 73. I'm not sure what my number 3 project is. Oop, I think my tablet needs a charge. Sometimes when it needs a charge, it dims and I can't hardly see the screen. There we go. All right. Hi, Kathy. How are you this morning? Welcome in, welcome in. We are stitching on Alice. We already did one block this morning right here. Look how interesting that looks. Is that? Oh, that's the dial on the phone. Like the old rotary phones. Anyway, and we're working on a second block here today because on Monday I did not get to work on her at all. So, trying to play a little catch up. And actually, she only needs 650 stitches a week. To see the finish at the end of week 52, right? So right at the end of the year. So I figure if I get 700 a week, that one, we wouldn't finish right at the end of the year. And two, if there's a week where I can't make all 700 or even any stitching at all, I don't think I'm taking this out of the country with me. It'll help make up for that. I'm doing pretty good. I'm using the power of positive thinking and also the ignoring the intrusive thoughts to make sure I have a good day or good. I'm trying to enjoy my time off versus constantly stressing about the fact that I have time off, if that makes sense. Because I tend to stress about the future, but I also like feel good about things. So I don't know. It's weird. Gotta run. Guessing 365. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful day, Betty. Thank you for your guests. Thank you for visiting. Yeah, normally I would be ending in about 23 or 33 minutes, but we got started half hour late, so we tacked the extra half hour on at the end. Um, shouldn't be a problem. I'm not like dying of hunger or anything yet. My grandma used to say, let tomorrow worry about itself. Yeah, but like knowing that and implementing that, two very different things. I'm doing really well with it right now, but there are days where, you know, you worry that the other shoe's about to drop. You're so worried about that other shoe that you're the one dropping, right? It happens. Do you feel like power of positive thought, right? So, like, if you tell yourself that something's going to happen, then the chances of things happening are much more likely. Um, Kind of like, for example, when finished that Stitch December, I had made a plan without even looking at my whips. Um, You'll be back at work soon enough, wishing for time off. There is that. There is that. Um, with Finish That Stitch December. So I sat down in like November and I said, what is close to a finish? And without even looking at my whips, just remembering, what I had stitched on recently enough, I made a list. Well, apparently when I made the list or when I put Celebrate Halloween on there, I really should have looked at Celebrate Halloween because I was like, when I pulled it out during Finish That Stitch December, I was like, I don't know if I can finish this. Like, it still needed a good chunk of stitching. Now, when I pick things for Finish That Stitch December, the idea is that I can finish them within a few days. Um, I love how I have this camera facing me so that you can see me, and then I'm like hiding behind it. Anyway, um, wow, ADD. Um, so, but I kept telling myself, I can finish this. It's no problem. I can finish this. And I did. I did. So I feel like that power of positive thought, um, it does. It helps. What's the word I'm looking for? Manifest. It helps manifest. So I got Celebrate Halloween done. I got my entire Finish That Stitch December list done. Now, I will say my finish parade isn't out yet, so y'all don't know this. But my last finish was it was finished before the end of the pattern because I oriented the fabric wrong. And so I can't truly finish it, but it was a project that was only meant to keep me from throwing tail ends away, right? I had something to do with them instead of just tossing them. So it wasn't a big deal that it didn't get completed. So I still called it a finish because it did what it was meant to do. And we just called it good. So that finish parade, I will get to it this evening or tomorrow. Positive thought changes your outlook and attitude on things, so you're more likely that you'll make those things happen. Yep. I also think having an I can do it attitude versus I can get it done later is part of that power of positive thinking. But this is also why we have delusions, right? Delusional counting. I can do it. It's only like 1,000 stitches. I can do it. 3,800 stitches later. You know? That was what was funny. When I pulled out Celebrate Halloween and I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay, this is going to take more stitching than I thought. And then I was like, well, let's get a guesstimate of how many stitches are left so we know about how long this is going to take us. So I went through and I didn't like 10 stitches, 20 stitches, count it. I just kind of went, oh, that looks like a block of 100. That looks like a block of 100. Da da da. Um, and I came up with the number 3,200. And I was on Zoom with Kate and I said, Kate, I think it's about 3,200 stitches. And now 3,200, when you can get 400 to 500 a day, you're looking at just over a week. No big deal. I'm like, okay, we got this. Again, 3,800 stitches later. So I was off. I was off by a little bit, but it still got done. So that's what matters. But it was interesting to see how close my guesstimation was to the actual number. And when we say delusional, that's what we mean. I was like, it's just 3,200 stitches. It was more. Positive or negative, your thinking, how you talk to yourself, kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Right. Exactly. We are getting close to finishing up this block with about an hour left. So we will see if we can get our daily 100 in. I don't even know what it is because I haven't worked on a number 3 project yet. I will say when I was picking my temperature projects, this was another thing I wanted to put in my planner video and anyway, I don't plan well enough for planning videos. I said, okay, I need to pick 5 projects. And so I went through my start dates. And I had a few more years in there than just 5, but like all of my 2018 whips are already focus pieces, right? So we can knock those out of there. And then in my 2017. So I was left with 5 years after that, and I said, let me pick one project from each year to put into temperature stitching. So my 2024 piece is Edgar. Um, now saying that, I don't necessarily know where they are in my list of numbers. I know Edgar is 0 and 1 because I worked on it last night. But Edgar was my 2024 piece. Lilith was, I think, my 2022 piece, and she's my 8 and 9 because I've worked on her twice now. Um, I think Heartful of Gratitude was maybe my 2021. No, I didn't have a 2021. 2019? 2020. I don't know. One of those. Heartful of Gratitude's on the list. Dark Queen of the Sea. Dark Queen of the Sea was 21, right? 22? I don't know. Anyway, that's 4, right? Lilith, Dark Queen, Heartful of Gratitude, Edgar. Oh, and Growth Rings. Now, Growth Rings is my only 2019 project, still going. It is a focus piece, but it needs half the project left, and my focus on it is only 200 stitches a month. So I'm like, if we get a few on the side with temperature stitching, it's going to be absolutely fine. So that's why it's on the list. Where am I going? We are taking the kids to Paris this year. I got to go in 2019. My husband and I absolutely adored it. It was the best vacation we've ever had. We both agree. And so we really want the kids to be able to go. And my daughter, I mean, she'll be a senior next year. She's going to be going off to college before we know it. And so we wanted to get this trip happening before all that happens. So we are going to Paris, I think the second week in March. Laurel, indeed, to take what you said to heart. I think she means you need to take what you said to heart. Yeah, I meant to tell you that, Holly. I was like, I'm gonna get to play with Edgar because he's on the list. So I got 100 stitches put into him last night. All right, we are done with this block. We are parking that thread because seriously, we got a lot of black coming up because this phone is all pretty much black. Like I said, this next block is black with like one color of 823, but you see how you see these little dots that kind of go around here? I think it's manifesting that. It's Are you letting your temperature stitches double dip with whippagories or stacking them or not choosing them? Um I will try to avoid choosing them where I can so that more different projects have focus throughout the month, but I will um ideally, I'd like to stack them. I would still like to give Whippagories a full 500 stitches to themselves, but if my month is running low and I need to double dip it, that's not outside the realm of possibility. But I always want to give myself a way to get more stitches on everything. So, but like I don't necessarily want to let temperature stitching do my focus on growth rings instead because growth rings needs the extra stitching. So, all right, that's 200 on Alice. We're going to switch projects. First, we're going to take a look at, oh, and I forgot to take a picture in between. Oh, well. Um, we got to take a look at my planner. So, not my lap. Planner. Let me move this for just a second. Oh, wrong. Oh, okay. Let's see, planner. There we go. So you can see I've done 200 on Lilith and 100 on Edgar. Whenever I fill up this line, we're going to switch in a different project. Now, that's when I'm going to start switching in the 14th projects because they're small and most of them probably won't even hit the 2500 mark before I have to switch something else in. So, there's that. Um, oh, and today's temperature is, what did I say, 73? 73. And so 3 is growth rings. Speak of the devil. Um, so we got Edgar for 01, growth rings for 2-3, Dark Queen for 4-5, Heartful of Gratitude for 6-7, and Lilith for 8-9. You put another pick in the group? Or are you talking about the one with your black stitches? I'll go look. Oh, it's the chair. That is loud. But very, like, personalized, right? So, like, if you don't like it, don't sit in my chair type situation. Very interesting. So let's pull out growth rings. I don't know where. Oh, look, it's sitting right here. I like when that happens. That's a stitching throne, right, John? Definitely. All right. I need to really spin this. Um, Nurges and Q-snaps needed a much bigger difference of space there in the stand. Oh, there we go. I have to head out. I volunteered to help at work, 3:59. All right, Deborah, I gotcha. Thank you for joining us this morning. All right. Let's get 100 stitches in. Now, with this, it's a daily 100, but I will finish up whatever strand I'm working on so it can very easily go over 100. And then if we get done with this, I don't know what we'll pick next. We will just have to see. And everybody take a drink because we're swapping projects. Because we need to hydrate better. So one bottle going into my, how many, how many bottles I drank today? Already at one. Not bad for before noon. All right. Here's, and these are kind of long strands, so because I'm not doubling them up, being that they're a variegated thread. So, and already we're in the wrong hole. This is why I don't like linen. We're gonna fight already today. So do one stitch at a time because it's variegated. This is from Ink Circles, one of Holly's favorite designers ever. Holly is not a fan of ink circles. That was sarcasm. I'm just poking fun at her. It was in a magazine, and several years ago, I was watching a floss tuber that was doing a giveaway, and she would like rip the thing out of the magazine, fold it in thirds, pop it in an envelope, send it to you. And I won this one. Ink circles, trash it. But it's so pretty, or it's gonna be when it's done, because right now it's okay. I think part of my issue with it is the linen, just because sometimes linen and I don't get along. A lot of times linen and I don't get along. Actually, while we're here, Ink Circles has veritable metric tons of freebies on her site. Yeah, she does. Um, Even more so if you follow her on Patreon. But especially on the ones where, oh, what are they called? Mandalas? Where they have basically repeating pattern. Holly kind of got very frustrated with one. Ooh, not those scissors. I don't do, I get them. I don't do Patreon either. I've just heard about her Patreon. That if you're gonna do one, she has a really good one, is what I've heard. So this is just some felt. I bought a little square of it ages ago, but I need my Q-snap to grip a little bit better because when the linen gets loosey-goosey, that's when I tend to have the biggest problems. So we're just gonna pop that in there so it's gonna hold it tight. Oops. Here we go. We're we're nice and hot now. Taut is a better word, I think, than our 12-year-old minds can mess with it less. Okay. I have to highlight this a little bit in order to make sure I don't lose my place because that's the easiest thing to do on these ink circles. But I won't count until the end. So I'm going to highlight it in a different color. That way we know that that's what we worked on. And then I'll go back and I'll highlight it in a darker color while I'm counting. That way I'm uninfluenced when the numbers start rolling in. Remember, any guess needs to be over 200 because we've already put 200 in on Alice. And we have about 40 minutes to work on this. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and knock out my focus stitches on this today. So we're just gonna work on this till the end of stream. And 100 will be my daily stitching, and then 200, whenever I get it, by the end of stream or later in the day, will be my focus for the month, and then we won't have, that's one check off our list. Today's the 4th. Our event ends today or tomorrow, Holly? I think it's tomorrow. I don't know why the 5th is in my head. I was glad you gave us extra days because there's a couple days I didn't get to stitch. Ends tomorrow. Cool. I think we're on order like 9. So you have a sinister plan? Oh dear. Do you want to share? Or is it best that we don't know said sinister plan? Figured everyone could use a couple extra days because of the holiday. Yeah. Well, and that's just like, you're like, oh, it's a holiday. We can all get more stitching in because we're not working. But then, like, we all had plans. I decided I'm going to infect the craft group with needlework. Okay. Just gonna bring a bunch of cross stitch projects and be like, here, start one. Try it. You'll like it. I already taught someone how to cross stitch. There we go. That's what we need to do. Why does that keep looking like it's all crazy? Because it's linen. It doesn't help that it's dark linen, so like it feels impossible to see. And this other lady said she used to do it, so I told her about low count Adas, easy patterns. There you go. Come to the dark side, we have cookies. But not Cheetos, because then you get Cheeto dust on your project. That's why the gods invented chopsticks. I use it as my excuse not to snack while I stitch so that I'm not snacking, right? Um, when I'm at work, I'll get lost in my cross stitching because I don't let myself eat while I'm stitching. Sometimes it'll be the end of the day and I'm like, oh, I forgot to eat today. Because not snacking is a place where I need help. That doesn't go there. Chopsticks or tongs. Um, my friend Vic sent me one time, and I think my daughter commandeered them. They were little, they look like little tongs, but they hooked around your finger so that you could like, I don't know, they were cute. They were small and you could like leave them hooked on your finger so you could stitch, like not be holding it. And then you just reach over, boop, and then go back about your business. She probably found them on like Wish or Sheen or something like that. Where am I at? Pampered Chef. Oh, okay. Mm. I also feel like I don't when I'm working with variegated thread, so I don't like go down the row and come back or whatever. I get kind of lost on like where do I stitch next. So it's kind of like a maze. We just kind of snake our way down one row and up another and left then right then up then down. No rhyme or reason, just stitching. Oh, it's noon. Okay, that just I can't do that. What do we got going on here? And now all the dogs in the neighborhood are yelling because the noon alarm has gone off. Mm. I'm just guessing too. I don't know where she got them. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. You know, IKEA would probably be a good place to find something like that too. They always have all those little tchotchkes, especially in the kitchen department. I loved walking around IKEA and just walking. I used to do this thing when I was a kid at Toys R Us where you could make like a wish list for birthday or Christmas or whatever. And so they would hand you one of the little handheld scanners and you would just go to everything in the store you could possibly want and you'd scan it. And then it would give you like, like a total, like a wish list price, but also like you could give out your email or something like that. It's kind of like people do with baby registries, right? But for birthdays. And people could buy off the list and things like that. I think it would be so fun to walk around IKEA with a little handheld scanner and make yourself a list and be like, "Oh, look, everything I want here is only $25,000." Like, ooh, or could you imagine getting to do that in a Stitchy store? Just beep, beep, beep. There's a whole new term to window shopping, right? Just it'd be I mean, I know some of y'all do it on your 1, 2, 3 stitch list, right? You window shop, you beep, you put it on a wish list, you get that total and you're like, "Yeah, that's not happening in this lifetime, but it was fun." I need an LNS personal shopper when I want to splash a because of my back problems and knees. I get that. Um, ooh, or could you imagine? Have y'all seen the thing on TikTok where they get like 3 minutes in a bookstore and whatever they grab, the significant other, whoever's paying for it, pays for it. Being able to do something like that inside of LNS. You know how much stuff I could grab in 3 minutes? Entire floss wall would come home with me. I know you're supposed to be more reasonable than that. It's not supposed to be just knock everything off the shelf in a basket, but and the whole personal shopper thing made me think of it because um we let Lexi take a friend. We, Lexi did it for her 16th birthday. We let her take a friend who had to hold the books and like walk right behind her while she picked out her books. And Dad and I stayed far away because we didn't want to see what the pile looked like before it was finished. It was funny. We're like, we're just gonna stand over here and look at these books because we don't want to know. I think she ended up with like 10 or 12 books. It wasn't too bad. I have a picture somewhere of it. It was fun. Might be on Instagram actually. My husband hates the chair cover. That I can't say that surprises me very much. Rather polarizing. I'm sure my husband would look at me like I had lost my brain if I brought that chair in, but he also would be like, it's whatever, because we don't hardly have anybody over that would judge the way anything looks, but also we don't do a lot of decorating, so they have limited selection. And that's not right. Do have to concentrate a little bit more with linen to make sure I'm getting it in the right place. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna get a little crazy over here because we're moving away from the area that we were working in. Okay, 3. Just checking to make sure this is correct. Yep. 27 degrees Fahrenheit. It is cold. I think we're supposed to experience something like that next week. High of 20 in Ohio today. Oh, goodness. Nippy, nippy. And it's going to be 73 here today. Just so, like, see all the fairness in the world? Apparently, tomorrow is a massive snowstorm. Oh, goodness. So, what I hear is I need to fly in tonight and we can get snowed in together and stitch for days. No, I need to go to Texas. Uh, hey, Georgia, it's time for a road trip. I'm gonna come back down and fill this in and then maybe like move down this way. I don't know. Like I said, it's a weird roadmap because I don't have any rhyme or reason. We do have about 15 more minutes of stream today. There are people that do 12 and 24-hour marathons on stream. I just don't know how they manage it. I would be starving. Um, I think some of them just eat on stream, but I don't do that. And depending on what time I started, exhausted. Bum, bum, bum. I want my new glasses to be here. Not particularly because I enjoy wearing glasses. I don't. But I'm hoping my new ones will change that. But also they're going to be really cute. So actually, we're just going to run out of thread right where we need to here. That's going to work out nicely. Oh, you slipped in the wrong one. See the one last stitch. You can do it, little floss. All right. We still have 15 minutes, so that's definitely enough time to stitch some more. But instead of us using that thread to like skip down over here, since we're starting a new thread, we're just going to come down here and work up. Girl says 295. Mhm. Got you down, Laurel. Did you find your fabric? Do you have a centralized place you keep your fabric? Or do you kind of have to look here and look there and try and figure it out? Holly says 358. S- 300 is not taken. Also, even if it is, um, I'll just give it to both the people that guessed 300, so it's fine. I got you down, Enid. Yeah, I have a big box that's too full. I think there's also some in the cabinet. Gotcha, John. I have two banker's boxes where I have, and I could fit it all in one banker's box, but then I couldn't look at it. Kate says 370. Kate's choosing not to mess with Holly today. They both need to be they both need to be reorganized because like I keep pulling from them for the lives, and then I just kind of toss it all back in there. So there's no rhyme or reason to my boxes right now. Jen says 3:45. Gotcha, Jen. My numbers would greatly improve if I stitch in the correct place and don't have to pull something back out. I put my fabric in this box when she was here and it just barely fit then. Pro tip. Yep, pro tip. If you stitch in the correct place the first time, you get more stitches in. Kathy is 3:30. Got it. Snowed in sounds fun. I think it is until it's happened to you too many times and then you're like, I'm just kind of over this. Holly's thing is it makes her um what's it called? Autoimmune flare up. And so she doesn't much enjoy all the cold temperatures. Okay, got you down, Sandy. Body hates the cold, especially, so I'll be inside bundling up as warm as possible. Got about 5 more minutes. See what I can finish up right here. I used to be really cold tolerant, but arthritis got me, so I don't know now. Yeah. Arthritis does not like weather change. I have some in my shoulder from when I broke it a few years ago, and I can always tell when the temperature's about to make a good change because I feel it, but it doesn't necessarily hurt the entire cold season, just when it first turns cold. First turns really warm or too much rain, you know. Just a few more minutes here if anybody wants to get in some last minute guessing. Got a pretty good list here. 11 people guessed so far. In your Lizzie Kate series, were the symbols consistent from chart to chart? I want to say yes. I do believe so, yes. What am I doing? Can you tell I'm not used to working with variegated? Just a few more stitches in this thread, so I'm going to try and knock that out real quick. All right, time to count. First, let me mark the yellow on here just because it's going to make it easier to count. I don't have to keep looking back at the project. Move it out of the way. Move it out of the way. Stitching as much as I would prefer. Yeah. Oh, I hope to be able to record a video on Monday, but we'll see. All right. Here we go. Let's not mark this on sequin. Let's go over to growth rings. And I'm going to mark this up at 10. All right, so here we go. Remember, we already have 200 for Alice, so we're starting at 200 and then adding on whatever's here. We landed on an even number, 170. So my total today is 370. And Kate, you got it right on the dot. So Kate gets a double entry. That was pretty impressive. So Kate on the fourth. I mean, and you can, I'll show you, like, perfectly on top of all the yellow, purple. That's the area, 170. So I think I'm gonna be working on it again some more this afternoon because I need another 30 stitches to get my 200 focus, and then of course the daily stitching of 100. So, um, Thursday's winner, Shannon, also got it right on the dot. So we have 4 entries into the raffle already. That comes at the end of the month. So that's pretty fun. Um, okay, so I don't know when I'll see y'all next. I'm hoping to keep our schedule the same that it is, but as I don't know my work schedule, we'll see. I will try and put an announcement up on the channel, and that way y'all will have a heads up. Um, but I'll have I'll have a floss tube out either tomorrow or Monday. I need to finish parade soon, and then yeah, hopefully we're back next Thursday evening. I will let y'all know. So, I enjoyed everybody visiting with me this morning. I'm sorry that I ran a little late, but that's, you know, life. We did 170 stitches on growth rings, which actually, I mean, it does, you can see significant progress with only 170. And then we did 200 over here on Alice. So, y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all soon.